Welcome back, Wolfpack. Verlis here to some more Fan Fridays, and I honestly don't even know what to expect out of this battle. Whenever there's a Wobbuffet lead, you know, things are going to get pretty crazy. How many KOs is Wobbuffet going to get? How's Wobbuffet going to perform? Then also looking at the rest of the team, we have Prankster Bayonet into Insta Destiny Bond, and then we also have Dusk Lycanroc, which its whole theme is about countering opponents. So I'm wondering if this is like a full counter team in a way. Now, there are some issues with that because Wobbuffet leading, that's kind of like you're out. You know, you get 2 KOs, you go into the Wobbuffet, and then you just kind of hope they don't play some kind of stall, and then you're ready for either situation where you can kill a physical attacker or special attacker for the win. Dusk Lycanroc, that's going to be a finisher on the counter, but you can't win a battle if the last 2 Pokemon on the field and then you use the Destiny Bond. But this is also going to be an interesting, just like start right here. Darmanitan going to go for the Rock Tomb. That's just not going to be a lot of damage, and it means that Darmanitan is not going to self-KO on that. However, the Rocky Helmet comes in, and that's going to do a lot of damage to the Wobbuffet that is not going to be treated as counter damage. But then, the Flare Blitz, not going to be enough to take down the Wobbuffet. Huge damage back in recoil onto Darmanitan, and then the counter comes through for even more. So Darmanitan goes down. Wobbuffet will not suffer KO from that Rocky Helmet. But yeah, that is an interesting like aspect of the counter that you don't see too often, because if a Pokemon has that Rocky Helmet, it's mostly going to be a physical defensive stalling Pokemon and not necessarily, you know, going to be doing damage that can be countered back. So interesting setup for the Darmanitan, or like support Darmanitan right there. Then knockoff from Tangrowth onto Wobbuffet will be enough to take it out. Super effective, also getting the bonus damage from removing the leftovers, and that's going to be free right there. So now Bayonet comes in, and this is what I was expecting. You know, Bayonet is going to be the response for the Tangrowth, and then if you can get that Destiny Bond or just a raw KO with it, then that's going to be pretty solid. So Mega Bayonet will appear. We already know Tangrowth has a knockoff, but is that going to be enough damage to just straight up KO? And Bayonet has the Will-O-Wisp, so Prankster Will-O-Wisp, always very powerful against physical attackers. So now Tangrowth will be losing a little bit of that overall health, and actually goes for the Sleep Powder instead. But, you know, whenever you see a Bayonet, no reason to knock it off unless you're just trying to go for damage, in which case Power Whip will just be more. So now Bayonet going for a big shutdown right here, and I guess, okay, this also works out really well, because having Bayonet when you have a Wobbuffet means the Bayonet is going to be able to remove stall. You know, it has the taunt, has the Will-O-Wisp, can actually respond to a lot of different threats, and has a knockoff for itself as well. So Tangrowth taking massive damage, loses the red card, which means it doesn't activate since it's an after turn, or like an after move effect. And yeah, that's kind of interesting how Focus Sash, you know, that won't get knocked off, but then other items like red card will. And then we're going to see that, you know, Tangrowth, it's just getting chipped down on that knockoff. And that's just like this knockoff trading as Tangrowth's trying to do that super effective damage, and Bayonet just has a high amount of power as well. But Tangrowth will not be able to last much longer. Bayonet goes for that taunt. Might as well, you know, just the burn's going to take it out anyways. Still going to eat a knockoff in return, and Tangrowth's just going to use a knockoff right there. So super effective. Big hit, but then burn comes through onto the Tangrowth, and Tangrowth will go down. And this is like the perfect situation for the Bayonet to be in as well. So Lucario comes in, and Lucario, you know, it's just going to die to a Destiny Bond no matter what. No, actually, yeah, unless it goes for like priority. That's going to be the interesting one. But then my guess is we have Focus Sash on the Lycanroc, so that's why you just kind of set it up against a physical attacker. So Lucario will Bullet Punch out priority onto the Bayonet. Bayonet will go down off of that. But now it's like, alright, if this Lucario does not have any special options, like an Aura Sphere, then that means Lycanroc is just going to be able to come in and then get that counter with the Focus Sash for the KO. And Lucario goes in on the close combat. So wants to go for the finish, and that's going to be... That's like, I could have seen the theme of the team. You know, it's like, oh, what's Bayonet going to want to do? That's going to be your Prankster Destiny Bond. Wobbuffet, that's an entire counter team. And then Lycanroc just comes in and secures the battle. So that's why I imagine, because when you see the Bayonet, like I said, you can't use it as your last Pokemon. So Lycanroc is going to be that finish. And you just kind of have to hope it puts your opponent like they have a last physical Pokemon. Or else Lycanroc, it can still work, you know, if you outspeed the opponent somehow, like if they're very slow Pokemon, you can still go for some big damage on the Stone Edge. And also you do have that Focus Sash, so the Focus Sash will at least let you find potential KO damage against another Pokemon. And let's go and check out some more battles, see what other options this team can kind of explore. So yeah, now we get to see that things are going to be different. Again, you just have to look at the opponent's team. If they have a lot more aggro, but then that's also why it's so crazy. I do like it, that Bayonet really ties the team together, because if you look at them, they have like a lot of offensive Pokemon, more of that hard aggro, then yeah, you just put in the Wobbuffet, and Wobbuffet should be a good last Pokemon to have for that, and then you just hope that they bring at least one physical Pokemon, which is generally going to happen. If Lycanroc deals with that, then everything should play out really well. So Bayonet, you know, if they have a stalling Pokemon, that's what you can use against it. But Bayonet in this situation, against the Verlisify, you know, it doesn't have much to worry about, I feel. But you're going to have to bounce out the Verlisify, which could get interesting. So Bayonet's going to go for that taunt, just in case it wants to go for that Swords Dance, and actually goes for the Shadow. That's interesting. I will give it the that's interesting. Because, yeah, Bayonet now just trades it on that Destiny Bond. So just in case it's going for setup, you know, if you taunt out the Swords Dance, you get the Will-O-Wisp, then it's definitely worth just trying to keep that Verlisify down. Liquidation comes in, and that will be enough to take out the Bayonet. But there we go. We got our one trade right there. And now we don't have to worry about emergency exit shenanigans or anything like that. And, like, you know, you can knock off the item that Verlisify has while it's burned, while it's not doing a lot of damage. Might force out a switch, and then you have another Destiny Bond target. And if Lycanroc is on the field when there's also like a burn Pokemon or weakened, again, it can find that KO. And Lycanroc comes in. Oh, perfect! Perfect! Bringing in the Lycanroc. That's going to just be baiting the Focus Sash right there. And then right in to... Who cares about Lycanroc's attack falling when it's going to use the counter? And there we go. So yeah, like... I love this. I love how we've been seeing just a lot of these, like, revenge counter teams, damage reversal, whatever teams. Oh, wait, this could actually get hilarious, because Lycanroc has reversal. So, if it wins the speed tie, then it also just straight up wins. And the opponent, I think that's another thing that battle went by quick. Oh my goodness. So yeah, that's the cleanness I was looking for. That's what this team at an optimal level of play can represent. So, like I said, I did have those issues earlier, like maybe there are some ways that can go wrong, but then when it's right, when this works out, it works out well. So let's go into the next battle, and then I can talk about what we just saw, because that was great. And now we're finishing. Oh my goodness, this 6v6 team just looks absolutely wrong. But what I was saying about that last one is, yeah, the Lycanroc, I think the opponent might have baited himself, because he's thinking the opponent's Lycanroc could likely be running what I'm running if I'm running something standard. Now it's like, oh, just Life Orb, or maybe Citrus Berry or Wiki Berry, you know, something else that has a little bit more durability on that Lycanroc, and then prioritizes damage over the theme of countering. And maybe he baited himself thinking, oh, it might do the same thing, so he just ran in with damage, got the outspeed on the speed tie, or maybe wasn't even expecting speed investment on Lycanroc, and then the reversal comes in. So yeah, if Lycanroc gets the counter into outspeed, it gets even crazier. And now, forcing out the Ambipom, because my guess is Fake Out Last Resort, or at least Fake Out something, and Ambipom just is not going to be the best Pokemon for dealing with it. So that's going to be Tapu Lele coming in, and Bayonet will go for that Mega Evolution with Tapu Lele on the field. Bayonet's not an incredibly bulky Pokemon. I think the Mega Evolution gives it like a little bit of defenses, but I don't know if it can actually just survive that from Tapu Lele, and that's going to be just the ultimate prankster shutdown, but maybe the opponent doesn't know about this. That's about priority targeting, and since, you know, Destiny Bond is a self status, it won't be stopped. So Shadow Ball comes in. Bayonet survives it though, and that's bad, except when you can also play the double mind game of then getting outsped and having Destiny Bond stay in effect. So that's one of my favorite things about Destiny Bond as well, is that you can do that. People don't understand that, you know, it can, like when you're dealing with priority and stuff, it stays in play until the next time that Pokemon uses a move, without like switching and all the other things, of course. You know, within reason, it makes a lot of sense. So then Lycanroc comes in, and Lycanroc, yeah, it doesn't want to go up against the Ambipom, but Quagsire, it's going to be unaware, and it will not care. So Ambipom with a Fake Out. Ooh, the opponent baiting himself on his own Psychic Terrain. Doesn't, I guess he had to, though. Yeah, he has to do that just so he can go into that Last Resort. Quagsire takes a big hit, and what will it be able to do in return? It has the Citrus Berry. So that's going to be solid, and if Quagsire can get... Oh, wow, never mind. It's a counter. What? Oh, the whole team. I was like, oh, Quagsire, you know, maybe it's not going to be just about the counter and just about the return damage or, you know, the trade KOs. It might actually want to do something legit like Stockpile. No, that's what it's going to do. Quagsire's going to switch out in the face of that Goodra, though. It's kind of already shown its hand. And then bring in Wobbuffet, because Goodra isn't absurd amounts of damage. So using that Wobbuffet, you know, you can tank the hit. You can go for that Mirror Coat. You can force out an opponent. Actually, no, you can't force out an opponent because the Shadow Tag, yeah. Now the opponent's screwed. And that's another one. That's why it's also really good having that Wobbuffet as an option, that you can either bring it in to trap into Pokemon and then KO it, because when you can just you can confirm it. You just be like, Goodra, it's only going to have offensive moves. It's not going to play any shenanigans. So then Wobbuffet just goes in and locks down. And this is why, like, Wobbuffet, it struggles a lot because I feel that we're in a we're in a fast metagame as well, but we're also in a pretty bulky metagame, if you understand what I'm saying, because, like, there's a lot of stall. There's a lot of things that want to play filth. And that's why you have the Bayonet next to it, because Wobbuffet can be stalled out. You can play around it pretty easily. But in those situations where you just get the perfect trap against the free low offensive Pokemon, it goes out pretty well. And then Medicham comes in. I don't know what he's going for with that Medicham. It's going to be Mega. So that's going to be a counter. And I wonder if he's, like, just out of damage options or something. Or just understanding, yeah, gotta do something to it. Maybe go for that last ditch. Does have the Ice Punch, but even with all those boosted stats, like non-stab, I'm not expecting that to work. And then Wobbuffet comes in with that counter, and that's going to be enough to KO the Medicham. So Wobbuffet, MVP right now. Actually, everyone's just been, everyone's gotten a KO that has needed to get a KO, and that's why these teams are very interesting. You can come out on top. You have the Focus Sash into that trade move, and then you just win it. Also, I recommend using Swampert. Swampert gets a counter Mirror Coat, and it's a really fun Pokemon to use. So Crocodile has Crunch. Wobbuffet finally meets its end, but yeah, that's about it. It's like, it already got 2 KOs. It's already got enough momentum, and then also having the Life Orb, that's nice. But Pyukumuku comes in. My guess is that it's going to counter. Oh, Crocodile goes for the taunt. But counter, you can still use. Okay, it's Soap Toxic, but is that last move counter? Maybe that's how you bait the opponent. They're like, it's just Pyukumuku, it's easy to play around. Huge damage off of that Earthquake, critical hit. And is Pyukumuku staying in because of the counter? If I was the opponent, I would have tried to catch on by this point, because when I saw the submission, I'm like, wait a second, this looks like the workings of a counter team. And now, Garchomp, that'll be able to take down the Pyukumuku. But there's still a lot of Pokemon left that are just good at responding to this. And then we can also see what the Garchomp is up to. No, after all the plus that we've gained throughout this battle, you can just kind of use whatever you need to. Lycanroc comes in. Lycanroc is Focus Sash counter. And it doesn't even get, like, the Ice Fang or anything, so Garchomp should be onto that. Alright. So but Garchomp's gotta attack sometimes, so this gets us a lot of information. We confirm not Scarf, we confirm pretty much only offensive, and Garchomp's just trying to go for the win right now. So that's going to be counter spam. Now, is it PP stall or what? Because if the Lycanroc is using counter, then you have to know it's Focus Sash. So it gets a +6, which I feel is a little overkill because the battle should just end. And this is where you can just see it. Yeah, okay, he's going for the PP stall, and Lycanroc is going for that counter spam. So this is where the fun things happen. Garchomp goes for the Swords Dance, but Lycanroc staying on that counter. I would just spam Reversal then, or did he try to count out 5 and then PP ups are a thing as well. So that's going to be the Earthquake, and critical hit doesn't matter because Focus Sash. Is it the counter? All right, Lycanroc out the counter. So the opponent tried, gave up, and then didn't let his +6 Garchomp take off. But then Quagsire comes in. And the opponent might not respect the Unaware and then get countered. Or Garchomp would have to attack the Quagsire at some point. Quagsire survives, and then it's still going to be pretty solid. So what else do we have? We have the Mantine. That removes Earthquake, but then Garchomp can still one-shot. So yeah, that was actually... That got a little dicey, because I would have... Yeah, I think I would have just kept using counter, and if I run out of counter, I just keep using reversal, and that's still going to be a lot of damage. That kind of gives me a bit more to play around with it later, but he went for the scariness. I guess actually you can't use... Ooh, never mind. Yeah, I'd have to use reversal after I run out of counters, so it's still pretty safe. because the rough skin would break my focus sash, and that could get things scary. But then you just had Quagsire, like the unaware. If the that actually everything in this team has its place, and that's like one of the coolest things ever. Because we have Bayonet for the anti-stall, we have Quagsire for the anti-setup, because if you're going up against a Wobbuffet, or you're going up against, yeah, Wobbuffet especially, you know, if you can +6 against Wobbuffet, you get to KO it before it has enough time to survive, or before it even has a chance to survive, and then hit you back with the proper move. Same with Lycanroc, same with anything that you can Swords Dance or Calm Mind or get the stats over it, and that's why the Quagsire works. Brilliant. I love it. All right, there we go, guys. Hope you all enjoyed the video. Hope you guys enjoyed Fan Fries. Have a great day. Have a great week. Have a great weekend. All that fun stuff. And I'll see you next week. Thank you very much for watching.